And now time for our regular feature, Swindon Voices. As you know, we like to take to the streets and ask the residents of Swindon about a top story that's hitting the news. As you may be aware, the BBC behind me are looking to maybe change their schedule of broadcasting, which means there might be a little bit less news about Swindon. Now, we asked, how do the residents feel about that?
I'd like to think that they would keep Wiltshire-interested things. I think that we should have some Wiltshire stuff to get people outside of Swindon involved, the other area. But I don't think they should lose the focus on Swindon. This is where it's broadcast, this is where it is.
I do listen to BBC local radio sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. And I would have thought a specific service with the fact that Swindon is the largest town in Wiltshire would have an impact, and that news should be specific to Swindon for this area.
So you think they should maintain their current schedules?
Yes, I would think so, yes.
I've got to be honest, I don't really listen to it.
Okay.
So I couldn't really say. I think it's only fair that it should be made not just for Swindon.
I don't normally listen, but I think, to be honest, that's quite a good idea for modern times, because a lot of people travel out of Swindon now for work. I mean, we are a commuter town at the end of the day, so the wider knowledge of what's going on elsewhere in Wiltshire is quite important for everybody.
It should include local news, shouldn't it, obviously? But I think it's a better idea if it's widespread as well, isn't it? There's a lot goes on in Wiltshire we don't know about here.
Absolutely, but you like to know what's going on in your doorstep.
Exactly, yeah. I think it's a good idea, that, yeah.
So if they cut the amount of Swindon coverage and made it more for the whole county, what would you think of that?
Well, I can't see how you could lose out so much, could you? I mean, you can find out about localised news without the radio, can't you?
Fair enough.
But what's going on, say, down in other parts of Wiltshire, you don't get to know, do you? You know, the papers don't cover that, the local papers. So it's probably a good idea all round to introduce a system like that.
We have it on quite a lot. It's on the radio, in the car, whenever we're in the car, you know.
And what would you feel if they did less Swindon news?
As long as it's not too far abroad, you know, Wiltshire's okay. But we do like to keep in touch with what's happening in Swindon. Well, we live here, we've lived here for 5 years. So...
Do you like the local news? As long as we don't get Hampshire and Berkshire in there, you're okay?
Oh, well, now and again, if we're travelling that way, it's good to hear what the road conditions are, anything like that. But generally, the Swindon area is what we're looking for.